The sky was dark, and thunder rumbled in the distance. Amara stood outside the palace gates, soaked from the rain. She had nowhere to go. A guard looked at her with suspicion. "Who are you?" "My name is Amara," she said, her voice shaking. "I have come to serve Chief Anaya." The guard frowned, ready to turn her away, but then a deep voice came from inside. "Let her in." Chief Anaya sat on his golden throne, watching Amara. He was a rich and powerful man, feared by the whole village. "You are beautiful," he said, stroking his thick beard. "Will you be my wife?" Amara gasped. She thought she would work as a servant, not become the chief's wife. "But there is one rule," Chief Anayo said. "Never open the forbidden door." Amara's heart pounded. What is behind the door? The chief's eyes turned cold. "Do not ask questions, just obey." Amara nodded, though curiosity burned inside her. Days passed, and she lived in luxury. She wore fine clothes, ate delicious food, and had servants to help her. But no matter how happy she seemed, she could not stop thinking about the forbidden door. One night, when the chief was away, she walked down the long hallway. The tall wooden door stood before her, covered in strange carvings. Her hands trembled. "Should I open it?" she whispered. Then she heard something. A faint whisper, a soft cry. Someone was behind the door. Her heart raced as she reached for the handle. Amara took a deep breath and pushed the door open. Creak! A terrible smell rushed out, making her cover her nose. The room was dark, except for a few oil lamps that flickered weakly. Then she saw them. Women. They sat against the walls, their bodies thin and weak. Their clothes hung loosely on their bony frames. Their skin was pale, stretched tightly over their faces. Their eyes were empty, hollow. Amara's stomach twisted in fear. "Who are you?" A woman stepped forward, her voice dry and cracked. "We were Chief Anayo's wives before you." Amara shook her head. No, that can't be true." Another woman, her lips cracked and bleeding, lifted her head. "The chief only wants young, new wives. When he grows bored of us, he locks us in this room and leaves us to rot." Amara felt sick. She turned to run, but then she heard something move. In the farthest corner, a woman crawled toward her. Her hair had fallen out. Her nails were long and dirty. Her skin was peeling. She had been here the longest. She lifted her head, revealing empty eye sockets. Amara gasped, stepping back in horror. The woman opened her mouth, showing black, rotten teeth. "You should not have opened the door," she whispered. A deep voice suddenly boomed behind her. "Amara!" Her blood turned to ice. She turned slowly. Chief Anaya stood at the doorway, his dark eyes burning with rage. "You disobeyed me." The air became thick, heavy. The trapped women shivered in fear. Amara's heart pounded. She had to escape. Amara's mind raced. If the chief caught her, she would never see daylight again. She looked around. There had to be a way out. Then she saw it. A small window on the wall. She turned to the women. "We have to escape now." One woman shook her head. "We are too weak. But you can still run." Tears filled Amara's eyes. "I won't leave you." The chief's heavy footsteps grew louder. With all her strength, Amara climbed onto a wooden crate, reaching for the window. She squeezed through just as the door burst open behind her. "Amara!" Chief Anayo roared. "You have betrayed me." She jumped, fell into the river below, and swam. She didn't stop until she reached the village. She ran straight to the village square and screamed, "Chief Anayo is a monster! He locks his wives away and leaves them to die." The villagers gasped in horror. An elder stepped forward. "Are you sure of what you are saying?" "Yes," Amara cried. "Go and see for yourselves." A crowd of angry villagers stormed the palace. When they reached the forbidden door, they broke it down. They gasped in shock as the weak women stumbled out. Chief Anayo ran out, his face pale. "It's not true. They are lying." But the people had seen the truth. "You are no longer our chief," the elder said. "You are a wicked man." The strongest warriors grabbed iron chains. "No, you cannot do this to me," Chief Anayo screamed. They chained his hands and feet. The people dragged him to the dark forest where the spirits roamed. "You will never return," the elder said. They left him there, alone, afraid, and at the mercy of the spirits. Chief Anayo was never seen again. The forbidden door was destroyed, and the women were finally free. The village celebrated Amara's bravery, and Chief Anayo was never seen again. But the village elder gathered all the young women and spoke, "Let this be a lesson to us all." Many of these women married Chief Anayo because of his riches and power. They did not ask questions. They did not seek the truth. And in the end, they suffered. The women lowered their heads in shame. A man's wealth does not make him a good husband, the elder continued. Before you marry, open your eyes. Look beyond his riches. Does he have kindness in his heart? Does he treat others well? Do not be blinded by gold, for even gold can be a trap. The young women of the village nodded, vowing to choose wisely in the future. And so, Amara's story became a warning to all. Before you marry, do not just look at what a man has. Look at who he is.